Good evening, parents. Thank you for joining us. I apologize for the earlier interruptions and being able to join the second session that we've created. We put more safeguards in place, so hopefully this one will not be interrupted, and we'll be able to talk tonight and go over things about Cypress Creek, which I'm sure you're excited to hear. We're excited to begin this journey with you all and your students. As you see on the screen in front of you, you see our logo for the year, Embrace Your Inner Coyote. And our Embracing Our Inner Coyote is based on promoting equity for all. It's about eliminating systematic bias and racism, as well as ensuring equitable instructional practices to close the opportunity gap. We're very passionate about equity, and it has been a primary focus of my administrative team, as well as our teachers. It was the focus of our new school retreat when we met back at the end of June. And I think it's if there is a time ever that was appropriate for it, now is the time. And I will promise you that equity will be a primary focus in all of our efforts here at Cypress Creek. Just to go over some upcoming events, as you all may be aware, we have our Halapalooza event this Thursday, July 30th. This event is a tour. Normally it is an orientation to all the different aspects of Cypress Creek Middle School, but considering our current situation with the COVID-19 pandemic, unfortunately we can only make it a tour, and we can only make it a tour that is limited to groups of 30, and that's groups of 30 students. Unfortunately, parents, we can't have parents do the tour on the 30th because of the amount of time. We only have one day to do it, and to be able to get through the entire student body to give them an opportunity to see the campus, we had to keep our groups at 30. So we have adults, we have faculty and staff members working at the school escorting those groups. So we maintain our CDC guidelines, and each tour will last approximately an hour, 50 minutes hopefully, but an hour. And we've come up with a schedule that you've signed up for. And so we ask that on the day of the tour, you please arrive at campus, park in the parking lot, and have your child exit the vehicle at the time of their tour. We will have staff members in the parking lot holding signs to let you know, for example, if you're in tour number 2, that starts, let's just say at 9:30, we'll have signs saying at this time, tour number 2, you'll see the signs flipped. At that time, the kids will ask to get out of the car so we can have them line up and make sure they're wearing their face masks and adhering to our to social distancing. For those students that are going to be doing the My School Online, our device pickup and book pickup for those students will be August 18th. We will have more information coming out in the next week in regards to what grade levels should attend at what times on that date to pick up their device, as well as any instructional materials they need to do while they're doing My School Online at home. And a new fun and exciting event this year is Meet the Teacher Day, and that is on August 19th. This event is going to be virtual for our 7th and 8th grade students. We will have a link on our website where parents will be able to click on to meet virtually to see a video of their child's team of teachers. For 6th grade families this year, and again, I have to limit it to 6th grade families again, and it's very frustrating as an administrator and an educator to have to keep limiting things, but due to COVID, we have to make sure that we're keeping the campus under a certain capacity and keeping groups under a certain capacity as well. So we will have staggered times that we'll be publicizing again in the next week for 6th graders and 1 adult to accompany them. So one parent can come with their child to walk the campus, get themselves acclimated to the campus, and also meet their 6th grade teachers. 7th and 8th grade students, they will be able to meet their teachers virtually through the links that we will have posted on the website. One thing that's different this year that is different from many years past is no longer do anybody have to wait in long lines in a gymnasium to pick up a schedule and pay for fees. All of that will be able to be done virtually through RightCore no later than August 18th. Hopefully sooner than that, but August 18th, we will have fees up there and accessible for families to be able to pay. And also the students' schedules will be available in My Student on August 18th for parents to be able to download to their phones or print on their printers at home. All right. A topic that I know many want to know about, and I, as a parent who has a kindergartner starting this year too, definitely would want to know to make sure my children are safe if returning to school. So we actually created many procedures that are outlined here that are in accordance to the district-wide procedures that schools must adhere to. So the first is breakfast. Just know this, we are not permitted to allow any students to congregate. And being an educator now for 20 years and a lot of that experience coming with middle school students like to hang out in large groups and be around each other very closely. So we're not allowed to have kids congregate with one another. We need to make sure we're getting kids to and from where they need to be going. With that said, because of that, we are not issuing lockers this year. So students will not be assigned a locker. Students who have PE will not be dressing out for PE. The only students who will be using any of our athletic facilities and athletic locker rooms are our sports teams. Those are the only individuals who will be able to use those after school, and they will be monitored by their coaches to make sure they're adhering to all the CDC and social distancing guidelines. So understanding that and knowing that, we had to put in a lot of procedures to keep kids apart, to make sure they have the approximate amount of space in between one another, and that they're safe. As you all know, all students will be required to wear a face mask to school, as well as instructional staff members, administrators, anybody that works here at the school will also be required to do that. The only individuals who are exempted from not wearing a face mask are those who have a medical issue where they will have the proper doctor's documentation stating why they aren't allowed to be wearing one, and we'll need a copy of that documentation. So to look at breakfast procedures, students, when they get here in the morning, either from the bus or from being dropped off or walking to school, will go into the cafeteria, and we will have throughout the school directional paths like you would see at Publix, that you see at Walmart, that you see at Best Buy, that tell you which directions to walk, which directions not to walk. We will have the same directional paths on the floor. We have made multiple signs that we're posting around the school that will let them know this is the way you need to walk. They will go in and follow those lines into the cafeteria. We will have set entry points and set exit points for them to go in, grab their food. The food in the cafeteria will be grab and go. It will not be hot and served. They will grab it off the line, pay for it, and then they will walk immediately to their first period class. If students are not getting breakfast, they will enter the school from their bus or from the car loop and walk directly to their first period class, where their first period teachers will be monitoring them and making sure they're adhering to their social distancing guidelines. During the changing of classes, students will change when the bell rings. All the teachers have been already informed that the expectation is to go out into the hallway to make sure students are not congregating. There will be no lockers, as I stated earlier, for them to go to, so they will be expected to go from class to the next class. And the flow from class to class has already been predetermined, and we will be going over all of these directional paths at our Thursday event. So it's very important that students attend, so they will see the directions that we are having the kids enter the buildings and exiting the buildings, and how to enter the cafeteria and leave the cafeteria, etc. So that's how they'll go from class to class. Lunch procedures, their team of teachers will actually be escorting kids to lunch to make sure we don't have a massive pileup of students going into the cafeteria at the same time. So we will have a lunch schedule created. So our teams know when to escort their kids to lunch and also when to pick them up. Tables will be assigned for the kids to sit at, no more than 3 at a table, and all the kids will be sitting in the same direction. That way, if something was to come out of somebody's mouth, it would only hit them in the back of the head and not into their face. So those are our lunch procedures. And like I said, our team of teachers will be picking the kids up from lunch to make sure, again, that we don't have mass congregation. Classroom procedures, obviously kids have to go to the bathroom, those types of things. The teachers will be letting kids go to the restroom, go to the nurse, all those types of things when needed and as they normally do. We just hope that the kids do what they're supposed to do. We can't monitor everything, but they do and follow those rules that are necessary. Dismissal, we will be announcing buildings to be dismissed at the end of the day to, again, prevent kids from congregating. So for example, building 3 is our classroom building. Building 3 has 3 floors. Floor 1 is 6th grade, floor 2, 7th, floor 8th is, floor 3 is 8th grade. We will dismiss buildings by floor. So we'll say building 3, first floor at this time, you may be dismissed. The teachers will escort the kids to either the bus loop or to the parent pickup to, again, prevent the kids from congregating. The biggest question I know that probably most of you have is how are we keeping things cleaned and sanitized? It's very important that we do this. Know that every teacher will be armed with a bottle of germicide that they will be spraying down on desks to keep them clean. At least twice a day, the teachers will be disinfecting the desks. So at least during their planning period and at the end of the day. I highly encourage, if you're lucky or fortunate to be able to go to Publix or Walmart and find Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes, you definitely can bring them. And if you find some for me, let me know, because I cannot find any when we go there. But Amazon, I know for sure. So I'm telling you, you can have your kids bring those to school to also clean the desk in between periods, because I can only guarantee the teachers are able to do it twice a day. And the reason being is because the germicide that they're using takes 10 minutes to take effect and to kill whatever bacteria or infection is on those desks. So they can't do it every period because there's only 3 minutes of passing in between each period. So they will only be able to do it during their planning or at lunch and at the end of the day. The custodians every night will also be disinfecting the buildings. They will be disinfecting the buildings throughout the day as well. There will be hand sanitizing stations in the entry of every building also. So there are many things that we're going to be putting in place to hopefully keep our kids as safe as possible. And as I already stated, masks, we will be requiring all students to wear masks. We are actually, just tonight, we have it on our website. I apologize for the delay. I know it's been, everybody's been wanting a coyote mask. We finally were able to get the information up there on our website to be able to pre-order. The reason being we weren't able to get it up sooner is because our school doesn't exist yet in RICOR, which is the online payment system the district uses. So we had no way of collecting money. So what we're doing right now is we have it on the website to do pre-orders, and we will be able to take check or cash to, and it's also in the link, I'm being told, from my administrators. In the chat box. All right. There have been 3 intent to return choices that many, obviously you're all familiar with and many of you have chosen. I just wanted to go over a few of them quickly, just so you're aware of what these are really going to entail. The traditional is exactly what it sounds like. Students will be coming to school for the 7 periods of the day, and they will either be coming by car, walking, or bus, and they will be going home that way when school ends. They will be attending 7 periods. They will be, obviously the only difference is we are going to be, it's not going to look identical to how it would normally look during the school year from previous years. Students will have to be spread out in the classrooms to the best of our ability. Learning is all about collaboration and working together, but unfortunately, due to the specific times, that's something that we just have to try to push the kids apart and have them work as best as we can together while keeping their distance. But that will be the model that we'll be enacting. My School Online is you're having a Cypress Creek middle school teacher teach your child. So if your kid, for example, has English first period, and first period here starts at 8:30, your child would log on to the Zoom session that your English teacher sent out to you and log on at 8:30. That teacher would kick class off with a little bit of a warm-up activity and then introduce the lesson for maybe about 10 minutes. And then at that point, have them engage in the learning just like they would in the classroom. They might use breakout rooms through Zoom where the teacher has created smaller rooms of 4 to 5 kids. So they're working together collaboratively doing group work. Or maybe the teacher has the kids log off so they can work independently for the next 20 or 30 minutes and then log back on. So then they can all come together and have a discussion and have some type of summary activity at the end. But that is what the My School Online is going to look like. What I don't want parents to worry about is to think that their kid is going to have to sit at a computer for 6 hours straight and listen to their teachers for 50 minutes. Teachers do not stand in front of their classes for 50 minutes and talk. It's a lot of hands-on, kids working collaboratively or working independent, doing a lot of discovery and self-learning. That is what you're going to see here. So your child is going to have that same opportunity, just doing it at home and using their computer. Hybrid classes are those classes that we had to create for classes that had only a small amount of kids who needed to do My School Online, and we didn't have enough to make a full teacher to be full-time My School Online. So what that means is you're going to have a lot of our elective classes are hybrids. So for example, Spanish, the Spanish teacher is going to have a computer set up where the kids that are taking her class online are at home listening to her class and watching her class, and she also has students in the classroom in front of her. That is what the hybrid model is going to look like. And it is an option that we have for our students that we didn't have enough students pick the class that needed it to be a full My School Online class. During my parent meeting back in, I think it was February, it's been so long, that was the last time I got to meet the families and go over, what we do here at Cypress Creek and what we're excited about. At Cypress Creek, we offer a lot of academic opportunities for our students. And listed on this slide are just a highlight of the things that we're doing. We are offering only an all advanced curriculum. I started off this presentation tonight talking about embracing your inner coyote, ensuring equity for all. And doing that is providing every student with a rigorous education. And I know that students learn at different levels, and it is important that we implement instructional strategies that help those students at various learning levels achieve and be successful. That is why we are focusing our instructional practices as a staff on universal design learning, which allows the teacher to engage all learners and bring the learning to that learner's ability. So it requires a lot of work on the teacher's end because, as you all know, classes have 20-some kids in there. There are 20-some different learning styles, 20-some different learning levels, and that teacher has to create instruction that's going to meet the needs of all those kids. And that is what universal design learning is about. And that is the professional development my teachers have already started engaging in, are doing a book study on, and will be working on throughout the first semester to bring that equity for all through our instructional practices. Additional opportunities that we have for our students in regards to rigorous academics are listed there. We are one of a few middle schools that offer accelerated science. Basically, in 6th and 7th grade, students take a faster pace science course so that in 8th grade, they're taking physical science honors as an 8th grader and getting a high school credit. We also offer Algebra 1, Geometry, as I stated, Physical Science, and Spanish 1 and 2. One of our elective offerings that earns high school credit is Digital Media Multimedia 1, and next year we'll be offering 1 and 2. We are offering Cte courses this year that offer industry cert, and what industry certification provides our students is the ability to you know, apply for jobs that a lot of jobs require either on-the-job training to get that that certification. So it puts the students ahead of other applicants when applying for those positions. And our CTE courses align to those at the high school level. We offer criminal justice, engineering, and business. And all of our course offerings here flow into the course offerings that are offered at the high school, where the students can also earn more industry certs by the time they graduate high school. And then we are part of the Cypress Creek Conservatory of the Arts. If you have not seen our school, you'll definitely see it on Thursday. But our school has a strong fine arts background. We have a black box theater on our campus. We have beautiful state-of-the-art facilities for band, orchestra, chorus, and dance as well, and theater and art. And our programs are the best. And I'm saying that, I know it sounds arrogant, but in my opinion, they are. And our students are being set up to start here at the middle school level, continue their fine art career at the high school level, and by the time they're sophomores, they can literally walk 50 yards across the street to the Pasco Hernando State College Instructional Performing Arts Center and earn college degrees in the fine arts. And if they're not even interested in the fine arts, they can still go to Pasco Hernando State College as sophomores and take dual enrollment courses in English, math, science, and social studies. And then also we offer inclusion services, inclusion gifted services for our gifted students. We do have a gifted team of gifted students and high performing students who have scored a level 3, 4, or 5. And that team is there to provide our students with enrichment, social emotional learning, as well as executive functioning skills. At Cypress Creek, we want our kids to get involved. They will have multiple clubs that they will be able to embark on and join. Even though we are going virtual, we're still going to have clubs and have club meetings for the kids. Sports, for those who have not heard, FHSAA is still moving forward with the fall sports season. There has been a delay in the start of the fall sports. That information has been put out on our website and calendar to when those dates are, but sports are still happening. Theater, band, chorus, orchestra, the 3 academies that I talked earlier about, and all the other course offerings and program offerings listed there. Our kids here at Cypress Creek have many opportunities to get involved and become one with the school. You know, school is not just about coming here and getting their education. It's coming here and being part of something and wanting to wake up in the morning and be excited to go to school and have that reason. And our school, just like the high school, offers our kids all those reasons to get them to be excited and want to come to school. This last slide is just simply how you can stay connected with us. We have our own website now up and running. So that's just ccms.pasco.k12fl.us. All of the information, tonight's presentation will also be posted there. But we have, we will be beginning our Howler Hub, which is a tradition we started when we were combined middle high school at Cypress Creek. It is a weekly newsletter we sent out via Twitter to our families. We will be continuing that once school resumes. We have a Facebook page as well as a Twitter account. What I'm going to do next is I want to show you all a virtual tour of the school. This virtual tour will be posted on our website so you can see it. And then when I'm done with that, if you, my APs have been fielding all the questions in the chat box. I'm going to go through those questions and answer them to the best of my ability. And then if you have any additional questions after that, I'll be more than happy to answer them. So just give me 1 second. We have now gone from Macs to Dells, so I'm learning. It's quite the transition. So just give me 1 second here. Okay, can't minimize when I'm doing that. All right. There we go. All right. Can you guys see what's on the screen? I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Okay. Can you see it now? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, like a yes? Okay, yes. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I was saying, I apologize that throughout the presentation, I know my administrators were answering a lot of the questions that you had. So if you have additional questions now, please put in the chat and I'll answer it to the best that I can. While you're thinking of your questions, watching that video made me think about a few things. On Thursday, when you're coming into the middle school, there are actually 2 entrances. Don't go in the first entrance because that'll take you to the bus loop. So come into the second entrance. Okay, that'll take you into the parking lot. All right, here we go. Let's see. But if ASL was removed, the student would then need to be put in a foreign language automatically, right? If a student chose ASL, they would not be put into a foreign language. That we would just basically go off of what their other options were that they chose. So if they chose whatever their other choices were, that's what they would have definitely been put in. Are there after-school program? Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, all after-school Beyond the Bell middle school programs throughout the 5 middle schools that have after-school programs have been cut for this year. We're hoping that maybe second semester, if the pandemic changes, then maybe they can start it again. But we just simply house the program. I don't make those decisions. The district does. And you know, there are other factors involved as well. There were only 3 children enrolled in that program also. So they decided to cut it for the first semester, and that's district wide. Is there a link to the video? Yes, I will definitely put a link out and we'll get that on our website. If not by this evening, we'll have it by tomorrow morning. Okay, I do not know that. I'm just concerned she doesn't have enough for the year since ASL is year round. I can. Don't worry about schedules. Your students will definitely have enough on their electives to take care of that. So don't worry about the ASL and the electives. Student will be served according to the IP needs. For traditional setting, it would be for my school online. Yes, so for students with IEPs, if it's traditional, absolutely, you would have a support facilitator pushing into the classroom. The same will apply to My School Online. It will occur either during that session, or maybe that support facilitator will arrange separate meeting times to do other small group instruction, or also maybe to do you know, small group testing, that whatever those accommodations are. So there will be other ways to do it, and it will occur. Even though it's My School Online, it still will occur. What is ASL? American Sign Language. It is a world language that we offer now in schools. No longer do you have the standards German, Spanish, and French. They also offer ASL. Am I correct in understanding that there will be no lockers used this year? That is correct. Unless things change starting second semester, then absolutely we will issue lockers. But for the first semester, no lockers will be issued. All PE classes will not change out. Different PE classes will have different meeting points that their coaches will go over with the students and let them know that this is where you meet Coach Neal's class, this is where you meet Coach Correo's class. And then during PE, they also need to be maintaining social distancing guidelines. Only athletic teams will be able to use the locker rooms, and those will be under strict social distancing and CDC guidelines as well. Where is the updated information for sports? It should be on our website, but we will double check to make sure it's there. The season has gotten pushed back. There is a delayed start. Fall sports are not starting now until September. So for 6th graders, will there be a meet the teacher virtually for my school students? Yes, for any 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students, for Meet the Teachers, regardless if it's traditional or My School Online, all teachers will be required to have a meeting video posted for the students to view. And then we also are providing the opportunity for 6th graders who are selecting the traditional route to come to the school and tour. And kids and 6th graders who are doing My School Online, if they want to come walk that's fine, they can too. But we can only permit 6th graders because, again, because of the only being given a day and the amount, and honestly, sixth graders coming from elementary to middle, it is really critical that we allow the sixth graders to get here on campus, to ease their fears, to get them acclimated. One tour is not going to be enough for the sixth grade child. We want to definitely give them the opportunity to walk around with their parent. You know, I know for a fact, having a kindergarten starting this year, like she needed to go to kindergarten camp for a week so she could get acclimated to the campus. Your child needs to come more than just the one tour on a Thursday. So that is why we're only doing it for sixth grade students. All right, let me see here. Okay, when will bus schedules be posted? The bus schedules should be on your child's schedule when they become available in My Student. As of right now, we don't have the route information. Transportation hasn't given that to us. All transportation has given us as of, I think it was today or maybe yesterday, was that we have, is it 36? 36 buses that are coming to our school. So we don't know what those routes are yet though. Do they have lunch inside classrooms or in the cafeteria? We will have, as I was saying earlier, based on, we've extended the lunch periods so they would be 42 minutes long to give the teams of teachers the time to walk the kids down to either the outside. We have 2 designated outside areas that are covered, and my administrative team and I tested it during the rain, and there was no rain blowing in there. Obviously, the students will not sit outside if it's thundering and lightning, but we have 2 outside seating areas that are covered and the inside seating area for the students, and the teams will escort their kids down to assigned tables, and it will be on a rotating schedule. So not everyone's always outside and everyone's inside. They will take, that way it's equally dispersed of who's inside and outside and when. Where do we find out about My School? My child is entering 6th grade. If you selected My School online, then you're getting it. That you're going to get your child's schedule on August, I can think now, August 18th, like the date changed. So I almost said the wrong date. August 18th, your child's schedule will be live in My Student for you to see it. And instead of it saying period 1, period 2, period 3, and so forth, it'll say online period 1, online period 2, online period 3, etc. Are books issued for each class with no lockers? I am concerned. Hold on. Yeah, with no lock, I'm concerned about all these kids will be carrying. I will say we're like one of 2 middle schools that have lockers. So the good news is a lot of our textbooks are actual virtual textbooks. So they'll be fine. And again, it's to prevent, you know, we have over 1,000 lockers. We got to prevent the students from congregating. The hallways inside the building are not wide enough to even allow just a few. So we got to just keep the kids moving. I know it is an inconvenience, but fortunately a lot of the classroom materials are online materials, and you know, they don't have a lot of heavy textbooks that they have to lug around from class to class. I wasn't aware of ASL. My daughter would have loved it. Hope it returns. I hope it returns too. A lot of cuts that we have to make, they're terrible. You know, it's terrible to do, but when you don't have enough numbers at the time to justify having a teacher teach the class for 5 straight periods, and you have a need somewhere else, you have to make that decision. And, you know, if the interest is there in the future and we have enough kids that warrant 5 sections, then we would love to offer it again. Can we get devices for online students if I didn't initially sign up for it? If you didn't initially sign up for the online version, let us know. Email me or my administrators, and we're going to change you to the online option. And on August 18th, we will have the exact times, because we're going to do it by grade level, and we got to do it in staggered times per grade level. We are going to have a device deployment for any family member who needs a laptop, and also time for them to collect their instructional materials, if any. So we will have all that, and we will get that schedule out. Is it too late to sign up for the tour? No, it's not. You can email either Julianne Usry, my AP, or you can complete the mock form, which should be found on our website. And she put the link in the chat box, I'm being told. She'll put it in again. Is there going to be an on-site tour for sixth graders? So sixth graders will have the Halapalooza tour. They will join the tour on Thursday. Just pick during the time that you select. That is the only time they can tour. So please don't come early or late. We need you to come at the time you pick. And the sixth grade meet the teacher day, sixth grade students will be permitted to come on campus, and we will have assigned times, and we're going to put that out, and we're going to do by alphabet. So for example, let's just say we say A through L will come at this time, and then that sixth grader and his or her parent can tour the campus, meet their teachers, etc., to get themselves acclimated to the campus. Can we get devices for online students? I think I already answered that one. I'm sorry. When and where will the student schedule be posted? They will be posted in My Student. And if you don't have a My Student account, please go to the district website, and on the main page, you can sign up for a My Student account. My Student is the online system the district uses for grades, taking attendance. That is where all your demographic information is. And that's also where the emergency card information is going to be stored. The district is now no longer having you fill out those yellow cards. They realize we're in the 21st century and that you can put all that information on a card and upload it. You know, I guess they're realizing if you can get a mortgage on your cell phone and buy a house, that you can fill out an emergency card and upload that to the My Student platform. During PE, they have to maintain social distances, but they can't play sports. Again, how? Again, I know. Yes, they're gonna do it to their best of their ability. That's all I can say. Thank you for everything. I'm sure this is hard. Thank you, I appreciate it. Can you still opt out of PE, or is it too late? It's never too late. There is a waiver you can complete online, and you know, we will take your child out of PE. Just make sure you complete that waiver. If you want, you can send Julianne Ussery an email, and she will take your child out of PE. None of this makes sense, at least be consistent. We choose traditional. Yeah, I get it that, you know, you want traditional, but, you know, we still have to keep policies in place to keep the kids safe. So traditional isn't going to look exactly like traditional, but it's going to be traditional to the best of our ability. So, you know, the kids' safety comes first, and so does the safety of my staff, and so does the safety of my teachers. That's what we're going to do. Well, thank you about the great plan for lunch. I appreciate that. Will dance theater electives be happening for online learners? Yes, we will have dance and all electives for online learners. Those classes will be hybrid. So if you're taking that class from home, that class will be happening live with students in front of the teacher in the classroom as well. So definitely those classes are happening for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Mel, for being glad that lunchtime is extended too. We needed the time because we wanted to make sure the kids had enough time to eat, because adding all that additional supervision and transitioning to prevent the congregation and kids getting there, we had to extend the lunch period. Online option was selected for my child. However, I didn't select for a device. Can my child still get one? Absolutely. You can definitely get one. We will send that information to myself or Julianne, and we will take care of that for you. Absolutely. All right. All right. Yes, we will be loading fees for you all. Earlier, I was talking about our mask fundraiser. And again, I'm very apologetic that you guys haven't been able to buy our Cypress Creek Middle School masks. I ordered 500 of them, so I want you to buy them. But unfortunately, RICOR, which is the online payment system the district uses, they don't have our school uploaded in there yet. So we've been working on that now for 3 weeks, literally, to get us uploaded into that system. So at this point, I've made the decision that we will accept payment, cash or check, for masks. And so we will have all fees uploaded in that system once that system acknowledges that we exist. Okay, so it will be there. How many students will be in each classroom? Typical, right now CDC guidelines are stating no groups less than 30. So definitely, no more than 30. So no more than 30, except if it's like in large areas where then we can social distance, that's different. So some electives like PE and theater, you can house more than 30, but in small classroom spaces, definitely less than 30. How do we sign up our child to take the bus? You don't. Based on the address that you have in the system, you're automatically assigned a bus route, and a bus stop with a time that your child is to get on the bus. So as long as that information is updated in the system, when your child's schedule becomes viewable in My Student on August 18th, you'll be able to see where your child's bus stop is located, and it's normally just right around the corner. And you will also see the time that your child has to be at the bus stop. And I always advise the parent to have their kid at the bus stop about 10 minutes before the actual time. Were selections to be made directly with the school as well, or only through the Pasco school system site? Are you, I'm sorry, Gigi, I'm not sure if you're talking about course cards, or are you talking about the intent to return? Intent to return. It was through the district website, and we took all that information, and anybody who didn't complete it, the district sent us all of who completed it and who didn't complete it. And then whoever didn't complete it, we did reach out via phone as well as sent an email. If you want to change your option, you're more than welcome to do that. I just ask that you please get it to us as soon as possible. Because basically everything that we created as a master schedule has been completely dismantled and redone. So something that we typically have 5 months to do, we're literally putting together in 3 weeks. So if you could just send that to us and let us know, we'll definitely take care of that for you. I know that the numbers have been going up and there's lots of concerns. So the fear is real, and I get it, and I understand completely. So definitely don't hesitate to send us that change. We will get it done for you. All right, mass payment should be brought to Halapalooza. Yes, you can if you want to. That's fine. No. Okay, sorry, I'm being corrected. My APs are saying that because of not having the system for RICOR to document it, we're waiting until the first week of school to accept payment. So you can pre-order it, and then we will take the payment during the first week of school. My apologies. All right, well, kids get mass breaks. I'm gonna let the kids can take, just like we do. I don't know when a kid needs a mass break or not, because I don't know when I need a mass break until I need one. They can take their own mass break. They're not going to get in trouble, but they'll only get, told, hey, put a mask on if they're, demonstrating that they're truly not wanting to wear it and they're being defiant for not wearing it. I mean, I'm not going to yell at a kid for taking it down to catch his breath and to get a few seconds of air before putting it back on. They have the right to do that. If you're interested in ordering a, oh, that was from Megan. There you go. Raquel, I really appreciate your props. I really do. Thank you. Let's see. Will my student be Zoom linked in their schedule? So like class one. No, your schedule will simply say ELA 1, and it'll say online period 1, and it'll have the teacher's name. That teacher will be contacting his or her students and providing them with the Zoom links, as well as that teacher in that course will have a My Learning account for each course. And so that you will be able to log in as well. And on that My Learning course and for that teacher's page, it will have all the information there stated. The syllabi will be located there, as well as Zoom links. So besides the teacher reaching out, you will also want to go on to that teacher's specific My Learning course. They are required to have a My Learning course if they're doing My School Online, because that is where all of the assignments, information, course announcements are going to be stored. So once you get that schedule, log into My Learning, find that teacher's course, and all that information will be put there for you. Well, Mel, I'm glad your child is very excited, and thank you. We're trying hard here, and I really appreciate everyone's understanding and support. This is a team effort. We wouldn't be able to do this without your support as well, so I really appreciate everyone's support during this time. Let's see here, Michael. If my child does my school, but then wants to do traditional, when would he be able to get back to traditional? You can go back from traditional to my school whenever you want. It's to be fluid for you and to be as flexible as possible. Just understand that if you went traditional or my school, there might be a waiting period before we can get you into one or the other, just because of availability. So there might be a wait list. I can't guarantee an immediate return, but we will work as quickly as possible to transition you back to whatever the option you're asking to go back into. Again, you know, it's based on numbers. So for example, we're at almost 420 kids out of the 1,300 that are coming here who want to do my school online. So we had to take all 420 of those kids, and every day we get more. You know, today, when we started the day, we were at 409. So now the numbers have already gone up just in one day. We got to take all that information, take all those schedules out, and then create new schedules and figure out what teachers are going to be the online teachers and what teachers are going to be the traditional teachers. So just understand that if you have a child wanting to go from my school online back traditional and vice versa, we might not be able to get that kid back in immediately based on just availability. So there would be a wait list put in place, but for the most part, we will try to do it as quickly as possible. What can parents do to help out to make this smooth for all? Honestly, just your support and your encouragement is what we need. And if there's things that we can come up with to definitely ask you for, we will definitely do that. When listening to the last school board meeting, the superintendent mentioned that because school start date was pushed back 2 weeks, they were proposing to extend the day by 18 minutes and taking away early releases in fall. Has that been decided? Yes, our bell schedule has already been pushed back by 18 minutes. So our school for kids will start at 8:30 and we'll get out at 3:08. That bell schedule, if it has not been publicized already, we will make sure it does go out, but it is, I know it wasn't until this afternoon. We actually had the official bell schedule meeting. So our bell schedule starts at 8:30 and it ends at 3:08. We will definitely get that out if it hasn't already been put out. And we just basically had to extend the periods. So all the periods are 54 minutes. And then the lunch periods, the kids have a 42-minute lunch within that 54 minutes. Yes, early release has been eliminated during the fall, but early release will if things lessen and the pandemic subsides and it allows us to come back to some normalcy. Second semester, we will continue with just a normal bell schedule and have early release days. The good news with adding 18 minutes is nobody has lost any holiday breaks, haven't lost any of those teacher planning days. All that still remains intact and the school year still ends when it originally was supposed to end and doesn't end in the middle of the summer. Thank you, Richie, for your thanks. Yeah, you can definitely start Spanish if that's what you want to do. For sure, we can get you going in that. How will the teacher reach out? The teachers will be able to send mass emails through my student, just like I was able to tonight when we had to create a second Zoom session. But I would encourage you, and I'm going to put more information out on this, but you're all in this session. So I hope you spread the word that anybody taking my school online, please, once they get their student schedules, to please log in to My Learning, look at the teachers, that specific teacher's My Learning page for specific course announcements. That will definitely aid in the communication process, but the teachers will also be sending mass communication out through my student. You can do that through email, but definitely utilize the My Learning, which is the district's name for Canvas. Do we come by and pick up books for class at some point? So on August 18th, we will have a schedule created by grade level with staggered times within grade level by alphabet for kids to come to the school to either pick up a device if they're doing My School Online and to pick up textbooks or any instructional materials that they need for doing My School Online. So we'll be getting that information out to you guys definitely by next week. Everything that you'll need to know and have will be out. will be the after-school program. Sorry if you mentioned it, that's fine, no worries. Beyond the Bell, the middle school after-school program that the district operates at 5 middle schools has been canceled for the first semester due to COVID and low enrollment. That is, they're pulling it out of all the 5 middle schools, and they hope for it to return, if not second semester, definitely for next year. What is the cost of the masks? They're $10. Will students have masks on while seated in class? Yes, they will. The expectation is there to wear it at all times. All right, let me look here. I'm sorry, I'm just going down through the chat questions. Guys, I really appreciate everyone for your words of encouragement and thanks. Honestly, it has been a unique time and a unique time to open a school and not just open a school, but then open a school during a pandemic. So a lot of firsts, and apparently there's a tropical storm or a hurricane coming too. So bring it on. All right. I mean, let's do this. You know, so I appreciate your encouragement. I really do. And honestly, you guys, it just speaks volumes to the community that I have. You guys are truly awesome. Let's see here. I'm going through these things. Book pickup. All right, good. What's the plan? Okay, what's the plan if kid gets sick and tests positive? So the district is providing schools with a flow chart that is basically going to tell principals that this is what happens if this situation occurs, and then this is the steps that it takes. What does that look like? I don't know. They haven't given it to me yet, and they haven't given it to any of the principals. And once I do have it, I will share it with my staff so we're all aware. But, you know, there's going to be, I do know this, the nurse has to have a specific, like a containment room for students who are demonstrating and exhibiting COVID-like symptoms, where those students will need to be quarantined until their parent come and picks them up. And then there will be procedures put in place to when that student return, and based on, you know, positive or negative test results. And the timetable for that, again, I don't want to give you guys timetables until I have the specific flow chart that tells me the exact timetables. But just know that the district has created it. They showed it to us at our principal meeting, but they didn't give us an actual hard copy of it because they wanted to make it all, you know, pretty and, you know, it makes sense. So once I get that, I will be able to answer this question in more detail. But just know the district has thought of all those. If this happens, then this situation, and if this happens, then this is what's going to happen. They have the play-by-play, step-by-step playbook on how we're to handle that. Because I had the same question too, like what does the kid's teacher, what happens to the kid's teachers? What happens to the kid's friends that the kid was walking with, and, you know, all those things. So all of that is going to be taken into consideration to give me the information and give my staff the information so we can then relay that information to you. You're not going to be kept in the dark. I'm definitely going to let you know what it is as well. Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate your thanks. Did I miss one? Yeah, what's the other one? Yes, if you're quarantined, you can switch to My School Online. That is why it is there as well. For students who are traditional and God forbid they contract COVID-19 somehow, and they have to be quarantined, or a family member has it and just out of precaution, the student needs to be quarantined, we can easily flip you over to My School Online. Basically what we've done so far is we have teams of teachers at Cypress Creek. So for 6th grade, there are 3 teams, 7th there's 3, 8th grade there's 3. We've designated one team per each grade level to work from home and be My School Online teachers. So if a kid does get, a kid who's in My School Online, they will have those team of teachers for My School Online. A kid that's traditional and needs to be quarantined would then go and have that other team of teachers to be his or her teachers while being quarantined. And then we could just transfer them back to the original team he or she was on when they come back to school. Because the curriculum is aligned, that is something the district worked diligently to do. That way, what the kids are learning in My School Online is the same curriculum map that is being taught and utilized in the traditional classroom. Who do we contact for course selection changes? Look, I'm just going to be honest. You can talk to Julianne Usry, but schedule changes this year are not going to be as easily accommodated as they've been in the past, considering of all the different obstacles that have been placed in our way. We have gone through and have at least guaranteed every kid has gotten at least one, have gotten the classes that they chose as particular options. That's why we tell kids to label their elective options as 1 through 6. However, a lot of times kids want schedule changes because they didn't get electives 1 and 2. Just understand that this is very difficult to do. And so if a kid is in an elective they chose, that's the elective they're going to stay in, because I can't guarantee that I have another class in another period. Plus, we are very overcrowded. We are very popular, which is a good problem to have. So we are packed. Even though our school is built to hold 1,600 kids, I'm not allocated teachers for 1,600 kids. I'm only allocated teachers for about 1,300 kids. So we are packed. So that is another thing that also dictates classes that kids get. So you do have I do promise you that your kids are in classes that they chose. It just may not be the number 1 or number 2 choice that they have made. Who do I contact for? Okay, I did that. And do I not hear if there will be clubs and sports? Yes, there will be clubs and sports. We're still going to have that. Sports, the FHSAA has not canceled sports. They've only they delayed the season. So the season will start until September. And Megan Melsheimer, my AP over athletics, and Joe Neal, who is my athletic director, they posted that information to our website, and we'll definitely get it out on Twitter as well. Clubs, and again, we will have clubs. Clubs are based on student interests, so we don't have clubs that we come up with. There's certain things that we must have, and those are just mandatory things. But if whatever clubs kids want to have, those are the clubs that we have, and we'll have club days virtually if need be. So we're definitely not going to take the school experience from the child. It's something that I feel is very important for them. They've been sitting at home now for months, and I want to make sure we're giving them the best social opportunity possible. How many electives do they take each semester? In middle school, you can either take a half elective, two half electives each semester, or you can take 2 full credits for the year. Is band still an elective? Yes, it is a year-long elective. Are 6th graders allowed to try out for sports? Yes, they are allowed to try out for sports. They weren't in the past, but last year was the first year for that. So 6th graders are eligible to participate in sports. Are clubs available for My School Online? Absolutely. I'm not just going to have one for the other. We will make it work. Just like we're doing hybrids for electives, we will do hybrids for clubs. We will have club meetings that have kids in person, and the teacher will have computers on with microphones so the kids at home can participate. Do kids need to bring devices, laptops to class, or they're not really used in class? We have technology to provide the kids at school, so you don't have to worry about bringing anything to school. We'll provide the technology to the kids at school and for the kids who need it for My School Online. Sorry if you already answered this. Is there a text alert number that we will get from school? Elementary school had this. We don't have, I don't know what they probably use. Remind. We don't use Remind, but I will do School Messenger, and we will send things out via Twitter as well to get the information to you. That is how we'll do that, and we don't do Remind. You guys are pretty great. Have we slept at all? No, and I haven't cut my hair either. So if you see old pictures of me, it's much shorter and has more of a fade and a spiky. You're like, who's this guy? And yeah, now, if the school goes on lockdown, I don't see the rest of your question. Oh, if this text alert if school goes on lockdown. The district, normally what happens if the school goes on lockdown, I have to get communication to the superintendent's office as quickly as possible. And the district communications department, they take care of that. So I would have Pasco's Twitter on hand if you'd have that. And they always send out too. Besides that, the district would also send out a mass communication through your phones to the phones that we have on file. They also send out text messages through that, so they can actually text you that way. For those of us who don't do Twitter, how will we get the important updates? It's a great question, because I didn't have Twitter until I became a principal. You can check out the school website, and also the biggest is the School Connect that we do weekly. School website and the School Connect weekly is the best way to get the information. So make sure you have a phone number listed, that you have a phone number listed in that. So in our file, so we can make sure you're getting those communications, and also make sure you have the correct email address on file, because when I send out the school messenger every week, I also attach an email to it. So it sends it to your email, and inside that email is a copy of the weekly parent Howler Hub for those of you who don't use Twitter, because I also post the Howler Hub on Twitter. But in that email that I send out weekly with the weekly phone call, basically it's the same message in the email, but then it also includes the Howler Hub link, which is your weekly parent newsletter that will have all important information about the upcoming week. That won't start until the start of the school year. So that, just keep an eye out for that. So between now and then, just if you're not on Twitter, I get it, it's okay. Just check out the website for now. What's School Connect Weekly? It's a phone call that I do every week. Actually, it's called School Messenger. The old system was called School Connect. So don't tell anybody I said that. So School Messenger, it's a weekly phone call that I record here in my office. And then I attach in that system, after I do the phone call, there's an email part that I do with it. And then I put a link to our newsletter in there. So not only do you get the phone call sent to you, you get an email sent to your email. And then in that email is a link to our weekly parent newsletter. Are you getting phone numbers and emails from encouraging, or how do we make sure they have the right info? Any of the information that you've updated in the past should be in there now. And then the district is supposed to be communicating out how to update emergency information this year, just like you do every year. So that information will be coming out from the district, not from me, because I don't dictate that. The district has made the decision that all emergency cards will now be online, so they will be sending out information. Obviously, it will be before Meet the Teacher Day on August. What day was Meet the Teacher again? I can't even think. Before August 19th, they will send out information for you to be able to fill out your child's online emergency card, and then that is the information that we use for emails and phone numbers. Will the students' class assignments be available online for those that forget to write them down? Yes. So on August 18th, go onto my student, and you will be able to see your child's schedule. You'll be able to see your child's bus route on the top of their schedule. And then you will also be able to go into RICOR, which is a separate system to be able to pay for your child's class fees. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the kudos for the transparency. I'm a very honest person, and sometimes I'm too transparent and too direct to a fault, but I just want you guys to know that I'm not hiding anything, and I want you all to know what's going on, because as a parent, I would want to know too. Let's see here if we're doing. How do we access RICOR? We actually we put that link on our website, because trying to find it from the district is like going through a maze. So we put the link on the website, and I'm not putting it there right now because we don't exist in RICOR yet. So once we exist in RICOR, I'll make sure it's on the main page of the website in big bright letters so you can't miss it. Just click on it and it'll take you right there. All right. If we're doing my school, do we still pay class fees? Yes, you can. That's up to you. You don't, you know, it's up to you if you want to pay the fees or not. What if we'll be moving in September? How do I get an updated bus route schedule? If you're moving in September, please contact my registrar. Her name is Michelle Mudge. Her email is simply M as in Michelle, Mudge, M-U-D-G-G, So let me say it again because I got tongue tied. M-M-U-D as in dog, G-E at pasco.k12.fl.us. Let her know that you need to update your address, and she will ask you, you'll need to provide, you know, the proof of residency so she can change that in the system. So will masks be available for pickup on Thursday or the first week of school? First week of school. Like I said earlier, we weren't able to get the mask fundraiser out in time because of the whole RightCore debacle. That's why we're only taking pre-orders now. So we'll just wait to give you those masks and to take payment during the first week of school. Well, thank you, Heidi. I appreciate that, and I will let Michelle know. All right. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to ask. I'll just wait a few more minutes, and if not, look, I'm gonna be honest. It's been a crazy, I don't know how many months. It's been crazy times moving in. I don't even want to show you my office because it looks completely like a hurricane came through it. Just trying to get this place organized, but we're doing our best, and I really appreciate your support. How do we know if immunization records were received? If you contact Tammy Milner, one of my APs will put her name and email address in the chat box now, and reach out to her. She's our data entry, and she'll be able to determine if we have it. And if not, you can contact Tammy and get her a copy of it. When are sports tryouts going to be? Sports tryouts are not going to be until September at the earliest for now. That's all based on the FHSAA guidelines. Thank you, Mr. Bernardo. I appreciate it. If you need anything, anytime, please do not hesitate to send me an email and ask. It's on my phone, so I check it. So definitely send me an email and I will definitely respond to you. All right. Dates for open house for 6th grade again. It's going to be Meet the Teacher Day, August 19th. We will send information out about specific times for the alphabet of the 6th graders so that we have it in staggered times, August 19th. My email address, T as in Tim, Light, L-I-G-H-T, at pasco.k12.fl.us. I think my APs are putting it in the chat box now. All right, my APs are putting their contact information in the chat box so you can talk to them. Again, thank you so much for everything. Honestly, your understanding and your support means the world. That is honestly the best thing that you can give us during this time. My team of APs and my staff here, they have been working so hard and so diligently and just spending so much time at home doing all they can do so we can make sure we get the school year ready during these times. So your understanding and your support is much appreciated. And honestly, that's the best gift that you can give any of us. And I am truly appreciative of it all. So if you have no more questions, if you need anything, please send me an email. And it was a pleasure speaking to you all this evening. Thank you, guys. Take care.